It's another episode of a crazy little thing called Lovdev. Today's episode is 126. Like a prayer. One of my neighbours is getting their drive done, so if you can hear a buzzing sound, I do apologise about that. It is in the background. I'm trying my best to keep that sound away from the microphone by talking into the microphone. I'm absolutely nuts, I am. And guess what? I'm not even in the country. Yeah, I'm not, believe it or not. I'm on holiday, and I bet you wouldn't even guess where I am right now. Wrong answer. I'm in Malta. Yes, Malta. Like the Maltese, Maltesers. I'm there. I'm in that country right now. I don't know what I'm doing. To be honest, I'm probably soaking up some sun rays. Sorry, folks, if you're back in the UK. If in the US, you don't care because you're always getting sun. Depending on where you are in the US or whatever country you're listening from. I'm sure your weather is way better than ours. So right now, yeah, I'm probably sitting in my villa. I'm probably in the pool, to be honest. Or I'm out and about. God knows. You will know all about it when I get back, when you hear the next podcast. So, yeah, I am currently on holiday as you're listening to this. Gone away for the week. I've got a wedding up there, so my niece is getting married on my wife's side of the family. And she wanted a wedding abroad, so that's where it was. We're currently all there right now. So I'm enjoying myself, but I have enjoyed myself for the past couple of days. I did a gig in Cirencester for Funhouse Comedy, and I was on with Roger Monkhouse and Matt Bragg. Matt Bragg is a great comic. He supported Ricky Gervais, the comedian Ricky Gervais. He supported him during his tour. And from what he's told me, Ricky is working on another stand-up special. And he will be supporting him on a couple of shows for him as well. It was great to see Matt, actually. He's a really funny comedian. I remember meeting Matt Bragg years ago at a gig in, where was it? Kenilworth, I believe it was in. It was a hotel. He told me it was a Christmas gig. I can't remember if it was a Christmas gig, but it probably was. And I do remember that gig. I had such a ball. I had a great ball that night. And then Matt Bragg went on and he absolutely smashed it. And I was like, this guy is good, man. And I remember saying to Matt that yesterday. Well, not yesterday, but I was with him yesterday. And I said to him, I said, mate, you're going to go far. You're going to get far. And he wasn't even knowing that much then. And he has. He's shot up. He's doing his tour now. So make sure you do go and check that out. I'll tell you what else happened yesterday at the gig in Cirencester, the one that I was on with Matt Bragg. So I've got myself protection, right? I don't mean like security. I'm not that famous yet. I mean like I've got income protection. Don't even know if you guys know this. Like I can't remember what I talk about on this podcast sometimes. Sometimes I feel like I repeat myself a lot. I think I do, yeah. Anyway, so I've got income protection, which basically protects me from any injuries. If I get ill, my pay is still covered. I'm talking about my day job, not comedy. Although, if I'm injured, I can't do comedy. Anyway, this guy named Robert sold me income protection. Really nice guy. I was telling him I did comedy. We had a proper chat. And he said, I said, where do you live, mate? Because he said he's really into stand-up. And he said, I live in Gloucester. And I was like, oh, right. I said, let me check. Let me see where I am nearby. And then obviously I was in Cirencester. I said, I'm in Cirencester if you're free. I said, mate, you don't have to come. But if you really like comedy and you want to see me, come and, come down. I said, my material's quite dark at times. And he said, that's what he loves. He loves dark comedy. But he doesn't like puns. I was like, yeah, anyway, he came down. I was absolutely amazed. He was there. It was nice to see him. He came with a friend. I bought them both a drink. They had a laugh. They said they really enjoyed the stand-up. And I think he said it was his first ever live stand-up event he went to, and he wants to go to more of them. Thing is, when you tell people you're doing gigs, they always like say, "Oh yeah, I'll be there," especially friends, close friends or family. Rob was a complete stranger, but he was still there. He came down. So fair play to him, man. Funniest thing was, he said to me, "You can't miss me. I've got a bowl head and a ginger beard." He said this on the email, and I said to him, "Well, make sure you keep out of the light." And he literally kept out of the light. He sat in a corner, and he said to me, I said, "Why are you sitting there? Why don't you sit at the front? There's an empty table." And he said to me, "No, because you said keep out of the light." And then I said to him, "Yeah, but as a joke, because you said you were ginger." He thought I meant as in keep out of the light in case I see you. I'm going to pick on you. I didn't pick on him, but I meant, yeah, because he's ginger, innit? Absolutely hilarious. I got a call off a friend of mine who's another comedian, and his name is Steve Lee. Steve Lee plays a character called Mad Ron, who's basically a criminal, just got out of prison, and he looks like a thug. He's kind of like Phil Mitchell, you know, that kind of character from EastEnders, so he's a bit of a hard knock. And he rang me up yesterday, and he was laughing his head off because he said to me, "You mentioned a gig you had in Manchester." He said it was in the Quays. He said I had to pause the podcast, and he said I was laughing for ages. And then he rang me up and he said it's not pronounced the Quays, although it's spelled Quays. He said it's called Keys. And I was like, is it? Even I didn't know that. I thought it was Keys. Like, if you look at the lettering, it says with a Q, you'd presume it's Quay. No, it's Keys. That's the English language for you. Talking about Madron, actually, he's got a podcast. It's called Where Did It All Go Wrong? And I was a guest on that podcast, which was released last week. So go and listen to that episode. It's very, very funny. Currently, he's got 4 episodes out. There's a couple of people on there that are hilarious. But I really enjoyed recording my podcast with him. Well, his podcast, should I say, not mine. So do check that out. It's called Where Did It All Go Wrong? You'll see the logo. It's Madron in a cartoon character holding a crowbar. For effect. I've actually got Madron on my wall. On my Hall of Fame on my wall. Yeah. So he's on there as well. And just like that, smooth as butter, we go into the next topic because it all went wrong. Let's see where it went wrong on
Ask the UK.
Yes, that's right. So today's post has been posted by Remote Global 005. They have asked a very intriguing question, and it might be controversial, but I will give my opinion on this. You probably wondering what it is. Yeah, I'm going to read it what the title says. It says, should I not have interfered with the lady playing her prayers out loudly on the bus? Should I have not interfered by... Wow, it sounds like you already interfered by someone playing prayers on the bus. Well, at least it's not that grime, hip-hop, so-called hip-hop, that grimy music. I love grime. I love hip-hop. But I think there's some people on there that just need to give up their day job. Or shouldn't give up their day job, should I say. But prayers is a different thing, isn't it? I mean, it's a bit annoying. To be honest, no one should be playing anything on the bus. Right? If you're playing something on the bus, it's got to be through a headset. Earpods, headphones, anything like that. If you've got one of those headphones with a microphone on it, like the operators have, fine. Listen to whatever you want. But I do agree that you shouldn't play out music on a bus, on any public transport, train included, because it's annoying. I don't want to listen to your music, mate, or your prayers. Nah, man, turn it off. I'm not religious, so I wouldn't want to hear any prayer. Number one, I don't understand what they're saying. Number two, there is no number two. It's just number one. I don't know what the prayer is saying, so don't play it, man. Don't play it. Unless it's a Catholic prayers. Obviously, I was brought up as a Catholic. I say I was brought up. I went to Catholic school. You guys know that. I used to know all the prayers, man. But I don't really, because of memory and my age and getting older, I can't remember it. Unless I listen to it again, I'll probably pick it up. But regardless, I don't think prayers should be played out in the streets, personally. Don't play it, man. Don't play it. You want someone to come and listen to it, get a couple of headpieces, treat it like an Apple store or a Samsung or, like Sony or Curry's. Treat it like that. Yeah, you got your tablets. Oh, you want to buy this? You want to buy this laptop, mate? Yeah, can I listen to the sound on it? Yeah, here's some headphones. You don't go into Curry's. You don't see them blasting music out. I went to Costco, and I'm going off topic now. I went to Costco and I was looking. They've got a speaker on sale, one of those Bluetooth speakers, right? And it was what was it? It was a Marshall one, right? Marshall 2, I think it was. So they had it on offer. I think it was 80 quid. It's usually retailed at over £100. And I thought, let me listen to this, because they had a play button on the thing. And I was trying to play it, and it wouldn't connect. Then I got on my phone, and I thought, right, do I need to connect my Bluetooth to it? Couldn't even do that. So even Costco won't allow it. I do agree, should she have interfered with a lady, unless you do it nicely, I suppose, then yeah. But I don't want to listen to that, man. I go into some Asian stores, and they're playing out prayer music. And I'm thinking, can't you just put on the normal radio? Like, do you have to listen to this all the time? I'm not going to say what religion or, because it could be any religion. Just, I don't want to hear it. Do you know what I mean? You don't go into Asda and you hear that. Imagine the day Asda plays out prayer music. I used to get awkward. I remember this years ago, right? I used to go into Asda, and then they just started their world food aisle. And when I used to walk through the world food aisle, they used to, you know how they play music and then they have a little advert in between. So they started playing this music going ding 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 ding. We are now stocking world food. Come and get your Asian cuisines, your Bombay mix. Ding 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 ding. I felt so awkward. I felt like they're playing this music just because I walked through that aisle. You know when you think, why are you playing that, man? And then everyone's looking at you and think, oh, look, there's an Asian bloke. Yeah. They must sell like chapati flour and stuff like that. Nah, man, don't play that music. Anyway, let's get back to the question, because this is hilarious. She said, I think it's a woman. It could be a bloke. Anyway, having just got back to the UK recently, I decided to take public transport to get around the place I grew up, Leicester. That says it all. Leicester, it's gonna be an Asian person, 100% Asian. In Leicester, you've got a massive Gujarati, Hindu, there's a lot of Muslims, and there's everyone there, but they've got a huge Asian society, Asian people. They're everywhere in it. I'm talking about South Asians, for those of you confused with American. No, if you're confused about Chinese and all that, it's not them. They're not there. It's just South Asians. Continuing on from the post. Sat directly opposite me on the bus was a lady playing her prayers incredibly loudly from her phone. See, that's the annoying thing. Stop playing that, man. Clearly, everyone on the bus was getting annoyed by it. I would as well. But too uncomfortable or maybe even scared to ask her to stop. To cut a long story short, I asked her incredibly politely to quieten the prayers down as she's in a public space. To this, an argument ensued with a random guy on the bus who started saying that I was targeting the lady for her faith. No, she wasn't. She was just annoyed. If she started playing classical music, like, loudly, you would be annoyed. Or whilst the prayers continued to blare from her phone. The true reality is that her prayers, however pious they may have been, in her own mind were noise pollution for everyone else. Absolutely agree, whoever you are. I stand with you on that one. Has something changed since I was in Britain last 3 years ago? Yeah. No one cares in Britain anymore, Bab. That's what it is. Like, there's no respect. That respect has gone out the window, mate. The society's gone downhill. Anyway, is this now just socially acceptable behaviour? No, it's not. Because it wasn't back then, nor was it when I was growing up. That's true. When I grew up, right, you wouldn't hear that. But mind you, we never had mobile phones then. People used to have ghetto blasters, man. But I didn't mind that. Like reggae music, yeah, man. Used to see Jamaican man walking down Answorth. And I used to love that. That's fine. But he used to walk past us, so it wasn't like he was standing in one place blasting out this music. He just used to walk past. Like, everyone used to do it, man. It was a trend. I suppose when I'm driving around, I blast my music. Maybe people get annoyed with my music. Sometimes, as you know, I listen to a lot of hip-hop and there's quite a lot of swearing. Then I'll see some kids and I'm like, oh, God, I've got to turn it down. They're with their mum. I don't want to set a bad example, do I? Intriguing question, though. Intriguing. I'm going to read a couple of comments. Someone's put, I'd lump it in with the people who play their music out loud or have their phones on loudspeaker. Being religious doesn't give you a free pass to blare out prayers or whatever. Yep, true. Someone's put, I find religion offensive and has no place in decent society. Wow, we'll just end it on that. I'm sorry for your very bad journey on the bus. I don't know what to say to you, man. It's horrible. People play blasting music, man. I've got this geezer, my neighbour, I told you. He's getting his work done. Like, it doesn't annoy me, but I thought, oh, I'm going to record a podcast with that noise behind. I can't go up to him and go, mate, can you turn that thing down? Some things you can't turn down, but maybe we need to bring a law in. There is a law. You can't play loud music or you can't beep your horn after 11 p.m. in the UK, and that's true, isn't it? I'm sure that's true. So there should be a law where you can't play anything loudly above a certain decimal. We'd all have to get apps on our mobiles that picks up the decimal point of each sound wave. I don't even know if that makes any frigging sense. If that, do you know what that woman should have done? Or bloke in the bus? He should have just played his own music, man. Find devil music, right? Satanism, and play that loudly and see what people think then. Eh? That's a good one, isn't it? That's what I would have done. I would have gone on YouTube, looked for devil music, right? Screaming, everything, man, the full works. Witches chuckling, wizards flying around. Do wizards fly? No, witches fly. Goblins laughing, right? What else is there? Sounds of people having their limbs ripped out of their bodies. I bet you any money that same person or the other person would tell you to turn that down. Excuse me, can you turn that down? That's really disturbing me. Or I should just play. That's what I would do. I think that's the solution. Next time that happens to you on a bus in Leicester, I'm sorry you're in Leicester, only joking. Leicester's a great city. But yeah, do that, man. That's a great idea. I want someone to do that. Right? Next time you hear loud music like that, just play it. Now, talking about loud, he's gone even more louder now, this guy has. I hope you don't hear it in the background, because it's annoying me now. He's using his hose. I should just grab that hose off him and hose him down instead. That's what I should do. But I can't, because I'm on holiday. I'm like Michael J. Fox, man. I'm talking about the past and the present. At the same time, you know what, actually, talking about Michael J. Fox, I saw him the other day, not like physically, because I would love to meet Michael J. Fox, because Back to the Future is one of my favourite movies. I was watching Curb Your Enthusiasm. I've never seen it, right, But I know it's got a lot of, like, massive following, especially in the US. So I've started watching it. I think I'm on season 7, I think it is. Anyway, Michael J. Fox is in one episode, and I was like, this is brilliant. And the great thing about it is the humour is on Michael J. Fox's Parkinson disease. Oh, it's so good. And the way they wrote the episode, it is brilliant. And Michael J. Fox really goes along with it as well. And I believe a lot of it is ad-libbed, off the cuff as well. I mean, they're right, but they also play on it, which is what I love. So, yeah, I do love Michael J. Fox. Right, let's move on. I've got some sun rays to catch. See, I'm still in the present, future. I don't know where I am. Let's do a No Stupid Questions. This No Stupid Question has been posted by Phil Jackson 5711 on the Reddit forum, as always. The question he asks is something I've actually thought about. I don't do it, but I wouldn't do it. There's a reason why. I'll tell you what the question is put down is. It says, if a neighbour can see me naked on my own property, could I be arrested? That's a good question. Could you be naked if you was... Could you be arrested if you were naked in your garden? I think you could, innit? I don't know, man. Now, I walk around my house sometimes naked. So, but it's usually when I go to the gym. Normally I'll have a shower in the gym. So yesterday I went to the gym and I thought, you know what, I'm not going to have a shower here because I wanted to dye my beard. So I took all my clothes off and put it in the washing machine, and I was completely naked. But behind my house, there's houses which back onto mine, right? And if I was naked, they could clearly see me walking around my house naked. I did not go into my back garden, so I wouldn't be naked. I have walked around in my boxer shorts in my garden, especially in the summer. Could you get that? Could you? I don't know, man. It's a good question. I would say probably not get arrested, but you'd get police down there. That's for sure. That's my answer. Phil Jackson has said, I occasionally go outside naked in my backyard. That can be seen by my neighbours. Despite my privacy fence, which is not high enough to block their view. That's the same as me. Could I be arrested for indecent exposure or any other crime? He's a 32-year-old male. Happy birthday. I don't know why he's put his age. And he's an OH resident, which I think is Ohio. I could be wrong. I'm guessing he's in the States. You'll be in the right state, mate, if you do get arrested. Way there we have it. There's the joke. Oh, God. I'm guessing you want to be naked. I suppose it's hot in Ohio probably right now, isn't it? There's no other reason why you'd be naked in your garden. I mean, if you're sunbathing, you want to make sure the sun goes everywhere, innit? That's what it is. Someone's put down, if you're naked in a yard with no aspect or expectation of privacy, then yes, you can get arrested. If they're trying to see you naked by circumventing privacy controls, then no. So if your neighbours have binoculars and they love seeing you walking around naked, then you probably can get arrested. I'd love to know if people do that. Do you walk around in your garden? Do you be naked? I need to know. Someone has put down, we can get guns in Europe as well, though it might be a bit more complex. I don't know why they've said that. Is that in case you get shot at? Probably. So I think my answer to that one is I can't answer for the US because I don't know the Pacific rules, but I bet you would get arrested in the United States for being naked. But if you was in the UK, you'd be all over Facebook. Someone would record you and put you on TikTok and Instagram. And then you'd be a massive... You'd go viral, probably. I'm sure there's probably some kind of rule that you can't get naked. I need to Google this and find out. Let me have a look. So I've done a quick Google search on the question, and I found an old article from the Sun newspaper. They do a lot of lies already. So they put out, is it illegal to be nude in your own home? So under the UK law, it is not illegal to answer the door to your home in your underwear or walk around the house in the buff. This means even if you're visible through a window, you aren't technically breaking the law. So if you're naked in your own house, it's fine. But if the nudity becomes a regularity and if your neighbours complain to the cops enough, the authorities might take action against you. However, you should be careful. If you're naked and seen performing you-know-what in the street, this act can be classed as an offence against the law. As with sunbathing naked in your garden, this is what I want to know, it is advised you are discreet when wandering around your house nude. So you have to be discreet, basically. So I think you just need really tall fences. Make sure no one can see you at all, or maybe just sunbathe right next to the fence. In a way, you can, but don't be discreet about it. Well, be discreet about it, should I say? That's the answer. Well, you're not in the UK, so that doesn't help you. For everyone else in the UK, now you know. I must get back to my sunbathing. I'm probably naked right now as you're listening to this, as I'm soaking up the sun rays, as I said. As I am enjoying myself on holiday, I did find a weird news story which relates to holidays. Kind of all fits in. The universe has worked for me again, folks. But it's not the country I'm in, because this will probably happen to me. You're probably wondering, what are you talking about? So, there's an article, I believe it's Spain, right? And the weird news story is, here it is. Barcelona anti-tourism protesters fire water pistols at visitors. Maybe that's to cool them down. Maybe. So here we are. It says on here, demonstrators marching through areas popular with tourists on Saturday chanted, "Tourists go home," and squirted them with water pistols, while others carried signs with slogans including, "Barcelona is not for sale." Thousands of protesters took to the streets of the city in the latest demonstration against mass tourism in Spain, which has seen similar actions in the Canary Islands and Mallorca recently, decrying on the impact on living costs and quality of life for local people. The demonstrators was organised by a group of more than 100 local organisations, which is led by the Assemblea de Barris pel Decrement Turístic, which basically means the Neighbourhood Assembly for Tourism Degrowth. According to official figures, almost 26 million visitors made an overnight stay in the Barcelona region in 23, spending about $13.8 billion. However, the Assemblea says that these visitors increase prices and put pressures on public services, while profits from the tourism industry are unfairly distributed and increase social inequality. It's published a 13 proposal to reduce the number of visitors and transitions the city to a new model of tourism, including the closure of cruise ship terminals, more regulation of tourist accommodation, and an end to public spending on tourism promotion. So they're basically sick of it. So on Saturday, the city's mayor, Giacomo Colaboni, highlighted a series of measures that he announced recently to reduce the impact of mass tourism, including increasing the nightly tourist tax. So it's currently €4 and limiting the number of cruise ship passengers. So at the end of June, Colaboni also announced that he would end apartment rentals for tourists by 28 by scrapping short-term rental licenses for more than 10,000 apartments. This would help to make housing more affordable for long-term residents, according to Colaboni. So, however, Coliboni is criticised for allowing events such as Louis Vuitton Catwalk Show in architect Antoni Gaudi in May, as well as the upcoming America's Cup sailing competition. The growing discontent in Barcelona echoes similar protesters in other parts of Spain. In April, locals in the Canary Islands, mobilised to protest against excessive tourism, so they were blaming visitors for pricing them out of their own homes and causing environmental damage. These complaints are common to many tourist hotspots around the world, which have experienced record visitor numbers recently as the travel industry has roared back from a pandemic. Such surges may be sweet for local economies and hospitality businesses. Bottom line, but they also come with a notable downside: increased noise pollution, traffic and strain on resources, a lower quality of life for locals, and a diminished visitor experience, among others. Not surprisingly, many tourist magnates have created initiatives and restrictions intended to combat over-tourism, including new or increased tourist tax. That's the end of the story. So basically, I wanted to know a bit more about who were these guys spraying. Were they spraying anyone? There's a couple of pictures of people and they're just squirting people in the restaurant, and there's a big march. Yeah, there's actually a video. So I'd love to see what the video is. I'm going to put it on silent so you can't hear it in the background. Tourists go home, they're saying. Tourists go home. And the tourists go home. This is like a BNP march, isn't it? Go home, go back to where you came from. They're probably spraying all the Russians and the English, in it, because they're the ones who travel the most out of their country. So it's probably them. Hopefully, I'm not being sprayed now, so I'm going to enjoy the rest of my holiday, and I will tell you all about it when I come back.